started out of disruption, out of COVID, like they started that way. My husband had a job loss as a result of that, and we had a mortgage and a newborn. So we needed to do something to supplement our income, and then after that, we always wanted to go to business. We always talked about it, and this was the right time. So we moved into a field and used our skills, our passions, and that helped. And such. These are the reasons why.
All right. Right, so what we do, we're a fractional full service L&D partner. We do services all the way from start all the way to implementation of learning solutions. So analyzing and planning, designing and building. Chantel tends to be the strongest in analysis, and I'm the builder in many cases, and we flip-flop back and forth. And then also going into testing and implementation. And so we've had a number of different clients, subcontractors, Amazon, AWS. Current client right now we have is Rhino Health. We work with IB, UMI, and we also work with IBM.
And just in case you're wondering what we offer in terms of just our products, we have the in-person and virtual training, learning, video, training, packages, job aids, anything that's dealing with training, we can do. And we can augment existing staff, so sometimes our staff, we just need to have more people to help. We can do that, or we can actually handle the entire process ourselves as well.
And that's internally and client facing.
Yes.
Right. So who we serve?
Okay. So we'll probably won't go into a lot of this, but just in terms of who our typical customers are in, they really come from two verticals. So usually we end up working with product managers, people in the tech field. We do that because often they're looking to supplement their staff or to augment. So they do like all the tech onboarding, getting the customers, things like that, and they do like have training, things like that. So we do that. And then CEOs or founders. So we get a lot of CEOs or founders of startups and mid-sized businesses, nonprofit and for-profit. A lot of times they have a specific trade issue. So usually onboarding is always something different, but or other types of trade issues, we usually have to get with that. The ones that last the longest for us usually are product managers because they have different needs. So once we done with product managers, they're our engagements taking us in the last for several years. But the CEOs tend to be for several months to solve the problem.
So our biggest problem, well, we lasted for 6 years because of some contractors, word of mouth, and long-lasting customers, and we haven't had to market or advertise, which is kind of cool, but it also provides issues. In the beginning, we didn't have to build a funnel, which in recent years has provided a nearly empty pipeline. Okay? And the market has changed. In our industry, AI has really impacted training and development, learning and development. And so marketing for us is a major challenge. And also building a sales funnel and effective systems to automate parts of the funnel. So what we've tried thus far, we've reached out to the past customers. We have a business mentor. We've also spent money on business training. We've refined our discovery calls to make it more efficient. And we've also done networking and business groups, hence 1 million cups. And we've also incorporated AI into our workflows and our solution offerings. Okay?
Which is really cool because I started working with AI many years ago before ChatGPT, big things and so forth. So it's wonderful to see it go full circle and to see what is happening around and now start to use it.
She was talking about Internet of Things to me before Internet of Things was a thing. So what did we learn?
Okay. For our past customers, we had, in terms of the lessons learned and the outcome, we didn't have a lot of success with reaching out. We had those good relationships, but we didn't have a nurturing plan. We didn't have that. So we weren't really on top of what we needed with consistency. So we'll still reach out to them, but we know that just for that first time, we didn't have great success there. For the business mentor, it was just a bad fit, so we just need to look at that again. We're not opposed to it, just that particular mentor, so it's not good fit. Additional business training, we did have some successes, and so we learned quite a bit, and it has been good for us. One of our biggest successes was the discovery call refinement, and we were able to streamline the process. So once we have the customers stage of the discovery call, we've got a 95% conversion rate in the right customers, and we end up with follow-up. So that part is good. It's just the top of the bottom getting the customer's decision. And then networking with business groups like this one, we've been able to start building relationships and getting to know people, and also with people other people as well.
And using AI to expand our toolkit, I'm working with one client right now, and actually come up with a couple of solutions that may be able to help them. They're still in kind of their beta phase. I'm waiting for the customer to kind of pull the trigger, but I've also built some things, some tools that I have an app that actually is in beta now waiting to launch. So we're adding that to our offerings as business solutions as well. And finally, I know we kind of zoomed through this, but this is our main issue. How do we fill the top of the sales funnel and also automate portions that will free us up to focus on working and building the business?
All right. Thank you, William and Chantel. So go to the next slide, and then we'll open it up for, that's their contact information. We'll open it up for clarifying questions. So what wasn't clear about their presentation that you're not sure?
So you talked about the business was born out of a need. How did you acquire your first client?
The first client was actually my wife. Chantel worked in tech. She's still a technical writer, so she worked in tech for years. And I think our first client actually was a recommendation through the training that we were a part of in the instructional design. And that first client lasted for about 4 years.
Yeah.
So
That's what I'm saying.
what training did just talk? Okay. Okay, cool. Okay, so I want to zero back and be clear on how you got your first client. So you launch and you go to a training and you meet someone that gives you a recommendation and someone
So my wife recommended instructional design once the company that I was going to shut down. She was a tech, and instructional design was one of the things that she was like, I think this would be a wonderful pivot for us. And so we found a school where we could actually get trained. It's actually now an accredited trade school called Idle Courses Academy. And the way that they were set up is that they would bring people in to train them, but they would also give them opportunities to work with them. And we also have an accountability group. Within that accountability group, one of our fellow students had gotten a full-time job, and we knew we wanted contracting. And they said, we think that this would be wonderful for you. There was a company called UMI, Urban Ministries International, largest distributor of African American sensible material in the country, recommended it to us, and we still have a good relationship with them. The market just changed, and so we went from our biggest client down to zero.
interject. So that's your first client. How did you get your second client?
So our second client was so that again was through a person that I had worked with before. And so they knew what we were doing. She knew the CEO. We didn't have this. They were helping people who have disabilities, placement, job placement. And so we ended up doing more onboarding for them to streamline their process so that their people wouldn't have to do quite as much. That's how it was.
Awesome. Thanks.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So
it looked like you had mostly tech companies that you worked for, so I assume that your vertical is IT and technology. Do you consider yourself mostly or only a tech training organization, or are you looking to more to be like a wider learning facilitator?
We can definitely be a wider learning facilitator. The main reason why we focus on that is because since we were working with universities within our own network, and I have a pretty significant tech background, those are the people, that we have.
But because we were subcontractors, we had to do everything from UMI, which was taking their physical bodies and materials and making it digital, all the way over to learning about building conditioning. So we take whatever information we're getting and we consume it and create what the customer needs. So yeah, we can kind of go wide range, but focusing also can be a very important thing.
And in fact, our last two customers, well, beyond Rhino, but the last two customers that we had were more like energy, solar energy, and sales, and more one of them, we try to sell customers. So we do have other customers. We just want to give focus that would be kind of recognizable to show them that we're practical.
So in your presentation, you mentioned streamlining your discovery call so that your conversion became 95%.
Yes.
That's impressive. I'd like to know what exactly streamlining that discovery call means and what your conversion rate was looking like prior.
So what we did to streamline the process is in terms of our discovery call questions, we were able to take those and whittle those down. So that we had set questions. But we also did a little bit of research usually beforehand so that we would know these are the other areas that we may want to speak with them about or other things. So we have more of a process. We also have more of a process concerning the follow-ons, what the offers are, exactly what they're able to tailor. The other thing that we did is we got AI involved in the process. So we still wrote it, we still did all of those types of things, but we were able to use AI to be able to flesh out some of the questions and things that they didn't have. And so, so those were the things that we did to streamline.
And initially, because we were learning and we were new, our discovery calls tended to be all over the place. And because we both like to talk, and suddenly becoming, it was.
We were able to do that. So yeah, our conversion rates, once people work with us, basically want to do
Thank you.
So I had a question. So are you doing regular social media postings? Are you writing? What I'm thinking about is in social media, you just have to be a part, and you're trying to get into the top of the funnel. So you just have to be a part of the noise, right? Like you have to be a part of it. You can't not be a part of it and get people into your funnel. So what are you doing to sort of just be a part of what people are scrolling through every single day?
Like creating awareness around your brand and what you offer.
Yeah.
I think that has been a challenge for us because of the nature of the business. We've been trying to figure out how do we effectively communicate this type of business.
Yeah.
People aren't necessarily on TikTok. We have a Facebook page, but we haven't really been.
Right.
And we recently started a YouTube page that I want to have a plan for.
Okay.
That has been something that we have struggled with.
Yeah.
And we do have LinkedIn as well.
Yeah.
But we have not been, that's the type of thing that we do.
Okay. Any other clarifying questions? 30 seconds. If not, let's move on to insights and feedback. What are some insights and feedback?
I definitely think you were onto something. I think I think 2 lessons learned, right, is that you were depending on one major client. And so that means that you were not really building a pipeline. And so I think there are definitely different ways to mechanize pipeline. And so I wouldn't underestimate the power of the referral network. Like, it sounds like you do know people that might need your services, and I think it's okay for you to reach out to them intentionally and ask for referrals. Like, I think that's still probably going to net you maybe some of those longer term sort of high priority clients that you might be looking for. But I do agree with Malcolm. Like, I think as a new business, part of your challenge is going to be creating awareness, right? Because if no one knows about your services and knows who you are or how to take advantage of them, that's going to always be a barrier to you landing more clients. And so I do think it needs to be a tandem strategy. Like, I think, sort of going through your network, identifying clients, and it specifically if, I didn't hear this because I made it, and I might have missed it because I stepped out, but are you focusing primarily on faith-based organizations? Because that could be an advantage, right? And so what you could do, a simple thing that you could do is get together local churches in your community and have like an information session so people are aware, and then work that network, right? Since if that's a domain that you operate in, that could be a differentiator for you, like, because faith-based organizations are always looking for ways to do more with less. And if you're able to offload some of that capacity for them, I could see a lot of them maybe taking advantage of that. And so I think also just being very intentional about who you're focusing on can help you. But I think Malcolm is spot on, and that is, when you're trying to create awareness, and it's challenging, right, because you're working in the business and on the business at the same time. But at least you have a partner. Like, I have Phantom employees that do some of my work, but I'm doing a lot. I'm wearing multiple hats, and so maybe one of you can focus on what your outreach strategy is going to be. So like building a list of churches, emailing them, trying to do some in-person, info sessions, and as well as maybe building up your YouTube channel, which I think will be a great channel for the type of work that you're doing. Just start showing little clips of trainings that you've done, or just starting to put together some content. And there's a couple of people in this room that have experience doing such things that might be able to help you. But we haven't gotten to offers and commitments. So those would be, I think, as somebody who shares that challenge, like, one of the things that you can do through creating awareness is building authority. And so that's what building your YouTube channel and people seeing valuable content and seeing the product, right? The other is leveraging other people's connections, or sort of kind of co-locating audiences that might benefit. And so since you are a part of the faith-based community, you already have sort of a built-in community that can help evangelize your products. And so take advantage of that network and work within your community and ask them to help you promote your business and what are the things that will be helpful. You might have like a special package for them or something like that, or you might offer a one-time consultation, right, to talk about what you might do for them. But those are ways that you can build, awareness, and that's really the beginning of that top of the funnel process, if that makes sense. So it's like discovery, people are looking, intention, right, and then the bottom of the funnel is how you actually acquire those customers.
No, that's real good. That customer journey, awareness, consideration, decision, right? That's kind of where they are. I would ask, how do you describe the problem that you're solving? Because it sounds like you're struggling with that message, like how to convey what you do to the masses. So I would flip that and say, like, how would you describe the problem that you're solving for, whether it be faith-based, tech company, like within your core competency, how would you describe, like I'm asking right now, like how would you describe it?
So I would say, if we're dealing with corporate clients, typically there is some sort of role that they're using there. Or there's some sort of an issue that they have on this. And it's, but it takes training to solve it.
Okay.
Because you can, often when we have discovery calls and so forth, the person says, I don't care about this. And because I have a quality assurance and compliance and all that kind of background, I can say, okay, these are probably not training problems, so we may want to use them.
Yeah.
But this is a training problem. And so then we can go in and start to, drill into that. So that's for me on corporate.
Yeah.
So does that answer your question, or you want?
Partially, but keep going, keep going.
Now, for people who are not corporate, usually the problem that we're solving is they're often very aware of, they are probably a new training for some reason. So they often know that they need training, or they need to organize their training, or they know exactly what it is that they want to. They just don't always know how to do that.
Yeah, okay. So it's sort of two-sided problem. You have a compliance issue, right, that training can solve, right? And that's typically for your core compliance. But then you have, so say for example, small businesses, coaches, consultants who want to offer some sort of training. They have the content, but don't know how to organize it, don't know how to deliver it.
Or sometimes they don't have necessarily focus.
That's right.
I know they say, we know we're going to, we know training is going to be part of it.
Yeah.
So
We don't know how to,
yeah.
Go ahead.
okay. That's good. All right.
How you doing, man?
Hello.
All right. So I had a really good conversation with them a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
So my apologies, I didn't get a chance to see it, but I did have some thoughts, and that was I went to deanlearning.com and I went to your LinkedIn page, and I don't know how to differentiate you from other design companies, right? E-learning companies.
Yeah,
I don't see it. It doesn't jump out to me immediately, but gentleman right here said, oh, you have 95% conversion, which is just the top of the funnel. There's at least 4 or 5 more steps on the end of the funnel to convert you called us back to, here, sign the contract, here's my money. I think that and it's also what Malcolm also had to offer up, like, what problem are you solving? You have a solution, but I don't know what the problem is that you're offering a solution to. And so if you have a solution, if you have a problem, really clear, defined problem, solutions are easy. Right? Solutions are just technical. I can go to AI right now and build out a platform and just ask it to do it. But that's not part of the problem. What I hear is I am a compliance officer. I understand what compliance and training. I am a minister. I understand how to touch people. So where's the intersection between compliance and learning and touching the human? Because if you put the human at the center, a minister, you know this, put the human at the center, it becomes very much easier to be able to do that. And so Lanisha offered up, I think, something that's really interesting is that maybe part of your differentiation is finding, I had to go get my donut this morning, so I had something on my stomach, and I went by Lidl's, and there was a ministry handing out flyers. Hey, we have this thing going on, and what Lanisha offered, I was like, so how do they get their learning, their e-learning? If you look at COVID, there are churches that I know of, there's one church that I know of that went, another one just accelerated their stuff because they figured out how to touch people in multiple ways. It wasn't just you have to be in the sanctuary to get the message. They figured out a whole bunch of stuff. And so I'm wondering if you had a way to dig into that problem, like what are you really trying to do? If I am a church of 500 versus 5,000, or if I'm a church of 30, and I really have something I think that's important to offer, could you target them? So sometimes you got to go small to get big. We know that Amazon sold books, where they're at now. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Good morning. So I'm an educator, and the thing that I didn't hear from the presentation was what people would be learning from your products and services. So can you give some examples of training that you created? What is the product? What are the learners learning that could, I think, help in the in the next portion of the session.
Sure, I can share. So for example, for Amazon, what they needed is they were launching a public facing program to help trade cloud engineers. So they need people to learn how to program in Python, and it was sort of one of their kind of core courses. And so for me, I provided more like subcontracting, kind of work there. I was the project manager, I also wrote some of the modules. Also, what we did is we also organized, there's a new video I started learning to create this module. So that's one type of thing that we do. Another thing for the salespeople need to have training to, people are onboarding so they can get basic sales training. And so what we did is we developed that, we talked with them, we had that whole process, worked with them to produce sales training for them. Were you online?
Yeah, for Urban Management International, yeah, they already had years of content, but because of COVID, they needed to take people who were getting physical content because they weren't going to church and move it into digital content. So we were taking physical content, preparing it for to an LMS, learning management system, so that people could actually digest it digitally because it's a different way of learning. And so because of the way that our business has worked, we take whatever the company needs, we learn their information, and we create what is needed for whatever learners do.
So I don't know if that answers your question, but we're not necessarily focusing on, at this point.
At this one, we're starting to
focusing
with
with all one type of customer. It sounds like a big change, exactly what we're talking. But the problem is more like at that meta level in terms of you need, whatever it is that you need, it doesn't matter what the subject is necessarily, but we're going to be able to help you develop the course and working with smooth in order to do that. Does that answer your question?
And the major feedback that we always get is we always give very detailed feedback. So when we have a discovery call, and they're like, I have this problem. By the time they get done talking with this one right here, everything that's in their brain is out on a piece of paper. And they literally can walk away with a plan. We do what we call an IDD, an instructional design document. And that is something that we always get raving feedback because it's so detailed.
That's why we read right after the discovery call is a meeting. So because they walk away, they have a plan, clarity, and happy with that. And then they're like,
We got one back here.
So I'm in this spectrum as well. I focus on IT training specifically. And what I haven't heard you guys talk about is our competition in general. So when you said your focus is CEOs and program managers. When I go to a lot of these companies, I know my competition is these national online platforms, whether it's video learning or some kind of, I've seen a lot of AI-generated learning assistants as well. I know what my combat to that problem is. How do you determine, or how do you say what your differentiator is to those platforms?
I think for us, it is the fact that we can be more custom. So for example, let's take e-learning, and you can go to any one of the online, kind of providers, Coursera, right? What we can do is we can provide you with something more customized, right? Exactly, what it is that you need. So that is one differentiator for a smaller group. If we're subbing, so I didn't have a chance, was offered a chance to turn it down to do the Coursera, to work on Coursera courses. So really, that was really the thing that creates, courses and stuff with Coursera for a client. We can do that, as well. But our differentiator really for us is that we can be custom. We can either augment your staff or we can actually just handle it ourselves. So you don't have to expend your people and your energy and all of your time. You know, we just report to you weekly, and so forth, and walk with you. And then in the tech space, we do have some kind of, even when we work with subject matter experts, because I've been in tech for like 20-something years, I can understand what you're saying and pull it out. We can use those kinds of things. So we have some of that subject matter expert as well, for us. So those are pretty much our differentiators. I do think that's something that we need for.
Hey guys. Okay, I was writing things down. So I started with the question of how did you get your first client, which you guys really went through. Is it Monet? Monisha. So Monisha talked about just your background with churches and the opportunity there, and that was definitely one of my suggestions is niche down. You guys have been in business for 6 years, so you have a lot of data. You talked about how you guys are data people. So I'm not sure if you guys have looked at the data through this lens, but what do you like about the clients that you've worked with over the years, and take that bit and figure out what that looks like. People have mentioned there is a big church opportunity that's there, but niche down in terms of like what you're offering. What is the church that you guys are with that were long-term clients? What specifically about them? What was their size? What was their budget? So then you know how to target the church demographic because you know it's a huge field. So really niche down, and also when you talk about your experience in tech as well, you don't have to niche down just in one sector, but niche down in these specific sectors that you've had success in. So when you started, I saw fractional L&D. Maybe that's a way to niche down to speak to tech companies specifically, even when you talk about like AI, the customization of it. But if you allow your customers to lead you, you'll find yourself in a space where like, I don't really think I wanted to do this, or this is who I wanted to work with, because that's what happened to our company. So speaking from experience, just referral after referral, and then we started to feel ourselves getting pushed in the construction space. Like, yes, we work in infrastructure, but we're not construction, right? We work in data centers. So we had to make that distinction, or else you'll kind of look up and find yourself very far from where you started, and you won't really know who to speak to. Once you niche down, you'll then have the ability to figure out, as a small company, I know you don't have endless budget for marketing, but then you'll figure out, okay, how much can I really spend on marketing? And I always tell people that I come across, diversify how you think about marketing. Marketing is not just through Meta and Google. So if you niche down, let's take the churches, for instance, then you think about, okay, what conferences do those churches go to? And rather than spending those money on ads, take that money and like, okay, can we be a sponsor? Because at least that gets us, somebody's ear, and invest in that conference, go as a sponsor, and now you're able to kind of talk opportunity in terms of what you provide versus spending money on these Google ads that seem cheap up front, but start to add up on the back end. So once you niche down, you're able to then target and figure out how can you diversify how you're spending this marketing budget of yours to really just have conversations.
All right.
Some gems right there.
Yeah. So let's transition to offers of commitment. This is where you think through your network. How can we help them? How can we help Dean Design Learning solve the challenge that they have?
I'll go first. Well, okay, thank you. So, I'm definitely willing to sit down with y'all and see what you're doing with AI versus what you could be doing with AI. I know y'all are well versed in AI already, but a fresh set of eyes on things never hurt. So, see what I can help y'all kind of figure out, at least on that end of your spectrum.
Thank you.
And as well, we're talking about some of the marketing pieces as well and what that would look like and how to kind of use AI to do something that for y'all. Okay. No problem. Thank you, Monisha. Thank Monisha.
Help me help you.
Hey guys, my name is Deuce, and I am, among other things that I do working with businesses, I've also helped them get business funding. I didn't get to ask the question of how you operate with your capital to make sure that you can fulfill these contract obligations. Being in tech, it's always changing, stuff is, information is always moving. And I'm wondering if I can help you guys or talk to you guys about making sure you have the finances, the funding behind, you know, finding new systems, new strategies, new implementation. Like the young lady in the front said about going to events that's going to, you know, take some funding and money out, marketing yourselves. Also have connections with a national news media brand. I believe that getting you on a level like that, a platform, provides you brand authority in that capacity, and that can translate across the country, right? So I'm going to reach out to you through email. I don't want to hold the mic up, but those, I think that having some strategy like that, and I like that you guys focus in the like ministerial space. I think there's a strong connection there, like people said. I mean, there's about 6 mega churches in this county alone, and that could be something that you guys could definitely get into, smaller, larger, all of that. And I'm wondering if you got, we'll talk. Okay, thank you, I appreciate it.
Yeah, we actually transitioned to Maryland because we were launching ministry ourselves. We were in Orlando for quite a few years, about 4 years ago, we transitioned here. So I never really thought deeply about instructional design focused on the church, although because we are teachers and trainers, I saw a lot of teaching that did not have instructional design influence in it, and I felt like that was needed. So.
Good morning. My name is Doris. I'm not sure, following Alma's advice about niching down, I'm not sure which direction you might want to go in, but I have worked with another small business to help prepare content for training for government agencies. And I know they wanted to transition that kind of almost like slideshow presentation into some real e-learning. So if you're interested in possibly subbing with another government contractor, I'll reach out to you via email and I can make that connection between you two.
Any other offers? So, I would offer some of my time to help you guys think through the messaging, right? The messaging of, so I think there are a couple of lanes, but you're getting a lot of information today, and so as you process it, what is the ultimate message that you want to be able to share? So, you guys have my calendar, so let's put some time in.
Thank you.
Any other offers, commitments?
I did, but that was with the previous section. I didn't want to hold up the offers and commitments to, so it's not important. I can talk to you if it's not important. So, yeah, thank you.
Having secret conversations up there.
Well, they just asked if I had a question and insights and feedback.
Okay. Cool. Thank you so much. Let's give a round of applause.
Thank you to everyone, every comment has been so valuable.
So make sure you follow the folks who offer.
They have to run out, but Chantel will be here if anybody needs to connect with her. I have a done.
All right. So we went through all of this. You know who our organizers are. Oh, so this is my call to action. If you want to be an official organizer, let me know. There is to be a organizer with the Kaufman Foundation. You have to go through the 2-hour training and then sign the licensing agreement with the Kaufman Foundation, so you can use the branding and the logo and all that sort of stuff. Outside of that, you can still be an ambassador of the community. Just bring people here, promote it, word of mouth, refer people to come to the community. You guys have been here and love it. Tell people about it.
Anyone new today? New to the community? Yeah. So I know you're one of our resource partners, so we're going to do that afterwards. So Cesar and Jessica. So our resource partners are part of the value that we offer to the community. And so these are people that offer founder education, entrepreneur education and founder support. So if you wanted to stand up and introduce yourself and talk a little bit about your organization, and it looks like I have to run.
I do.
Yeah.
Hi everyone, I'm Jessica Maylander. I'm the Economic Development Manager with the City of Greenbelt. So we're one of the municipalities in Prince George's County. And so my office does, like business protection and expansion and support and referrals to other partners especially. I've only been in the role for about a month at this point. So it's new to me completely that we're a resource partner for 1 Million Cups, but I'm going to leave a few cards, and so feel free to reach out, especially if you're interested or if you're based in Greenbelt or, looking to do business in Greenbelt.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks, of course. Can I leave these with you? I do actually have to run, so. Thank you, everyone.
And then we have Cesar here from the Prince George's County Economic Development Corporation.
Actually, yes, it's two of us. So I'm Cesar Cucufate, Small Business Development Manager. Anything small business, you're an entrepreneur looking to get started, it's going to be me. And I have my colleague Rocio Treminio Lopez, Mayor of Brentwood, and Latino Business Liaison, who works with the Latino community. Actually, first Latino mayor in the state of Maryland. So we do, we engage Prince George's Countyans, Thank you.
Get that together. Anybody new to the community today, first time? I want to see, you want to just quickly introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Dondra. I'm the owner of Grant Writers for Health. We provide grant writing services to health centers and hospitals all across the country in the Mid-Atlantic, and we've secured about $115 million to date.
And you started to introduce yourself. Do you want to?
Hi everybody, my name is Deuce Austin. I am Principal Stewardship Architect at the Founders Base. I help businesses primarily in a structural, foundational setup, corporate capital, expansion, things of that nature. Thank you for having me.
Anyone else that I'm missing on? Now he's bullied.
I'm a fly on the wall. Okay, so my name is Leona Harris. I'm a new business owner. My business is Community Connection Matters. And I offer, I'm a fire mathematician, and I offer consulting, coaching, and educational services.
You said you were a what?
Business.
No,
A fire mathematician.
So Leona is a reluctant member of our community, but I'm working on her. I'm loving her into this community. So that's what we do.
All right, so ecosystem spotlights. So the Discovery District mini mart is right after this, I guess in about an hour or so. So you're welcome to join it. I think they have the DMV taqueria that'll be out there, offering plenty of good stuff to eat. And anything else about that?
Yes, so the Discovery District is sits at the intersection of research, entrepreneurship, culture, and entrepreneurship, research, culture,
Education.
I think it's research. And so this is a unique place because there are all sorts of small businesses here that are growing and learning. And so one of the things that we want to be able to do is connect you to resources in the Discovery District. So for those of you who have not met me, I'm Alicia Shorter. I'm owner of Interact. We are the host venue for 1 Million Cups. And so our motto is community-centered, entrepreneur-focused, turf-friendly. So I'm a proud turf. And so I'm intentionally part of this community because we want to see, we're betting big, 10 toes down on businesses in Prince George's County. So we believe there's a wealth of talent here. And so what we want to be able to do in this room is not only provide you valuable feedback, to help you get your business to the next level, but we also, through our resource partners, want to connect you with resources and programming in the county that can help you figure out what your path is to commercialization or growth and success. So that's part of what we offer as part of this community. And so if you decide to be a member here, there's tons of information on our front desk. That's part of what you get for being a part of this community.
Okay. Anything else you guys got going on that you want to share?
I don't have something going on, but I have a question.
Okay.
I'm working with someone who's, I'm working with a franchise.
It's hard to hear you back
finder.
here.
Oh, sorry. I am working with, thanks, I appreciate that. Working with a franchise finder and someone who, she works with somebody who finds creative funding solutions for franchises. Is that someone that would be someone that you would welcome here to work with this community?
Absolutely.
Because I'd like to share, this community with them. I'm not sure that she's aware of it, but I didn't want to do that if that's not something that's outside of the scope of.
There's not, I wouldn't say there's any particular business founder that I wouldn't welcome.
Okay.
Right? So the challenge is cultural fit, right? So I've been a part of groups where it's supposed to be about businesses and it's all about financial planners, accountants, and lawyers. They're just selling.
Okay.
So that's the thing that we don't really do in here. Like what you do in terms of networking and connecting, collaborating, that's cool, but we're not selling anything, right? So we're welcome.
As long as their offerings are more of a, hey, I provide this service, and if you want to talk more about it, then that's like an outside thing, but not using this forum to sell. Okay.
Using the platform to sell.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Appreciate that clarification.
We're Trust Love Assist. We have a workshop next Saturday, 22nd here in PG County to help folks enlighten how trusts work and operate and how you can save your family in the future with trust in place. And we have cards here with the QR codes back, so you can grab some and head out and come out next Saturday, 22nd.
What did you said, the 22nd?
The 22nd.
Okay. Where's it going to be?
At the 1801 McCormick Drive.
Also at PGCEDC in the ISBI?
Yep.
Okay, gotcha.
So there you go. So I'm from the trainings. We're celebrating 25 years, and next month we're going to be doing an event celebrating it, and I'm looking for people who are able to talk about the next 25 years in innovation and technology. So I'll put more of that out on our social channels, on our LinkedIn. But I really want to have some interesting conversations about the next 25 years in innovation and technology. There's a bunch of things that people are doing, especially around here with quantum computing, life sciences, aerospace. I'd like to open up that conversation in our organization to everybody at this event.
Nice, thanks, man.
What was the organization?
Trainings.
Trainees?
Trainees. ACE.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
I'm reading a book right now called AI 2040. And so it is, and I read another book about quantum, and it talks about like the Star Trek stuff. Like BBL, Scotty, all that sort of stuff happens. So yeah. So no,
I can't imagine 3 years into the future.
right. But if you have information, either put it on the Discord or send it so we can share it. Awesome. All right.
On September 2nd, we're going to have lunch here from 12 to 2. This is to show the reveal of the standard we've been working on for the past year and a half. So come through. This is for the HEART standard. And this is about bringing together the community at different events on how AI is built. It is a new standard for human impact.
Yes.
This question for the, I don't need to be on the microphone.
Because.
Yeah, but I don't know who's in the room. I mean, are we business? Is it business owners, or he's just? I don't know who I'm actually talking to in general.
So it's a mix. You have resource partners and you have founders. So we'll have some time after for you to.
Okay, yeah, because when you say, do I have a question, I don't know exactly who I'm talking to ask the right question.
So that's actually a great point. It was the idea here is that we put these people together, right, in one room, and then it's kind of up to you to kind of figure out who you want to talk to. Now, we had some questions about that early on, like doing name tags and all that sort of stuff. We still might do it, but I feel like you just need to know people. Just get to know people, right?
No, I agree with you. I just know, now, it's ironic, I'm an introvert, but I know part of my job, part of my life is I like going out to networking events and talking to people. However, I understand that some people might be more comfortable saying, okay, that person does this, I see it on the name tag. I also want to say, you said not to solicit services. I don't want to say anything and then it's like, oh, you can get out of here,
No.
But I work with business owners, so I don't know, I don't know how to not solicit when it's like, like with Ms. Chantel up there. I've been in the federal marketplace and I understand subcontracting is great until the contract ends. So I teach people how to prime contract. Now, if I was sitting here saying that, then it might sound like I'm soliciting. But I'm just saying that's what I do. And I help other people do that too.
I think we all have experienced someone who is just in it for the transaction versus the relationship. So one of the things that my pushback on the name tag was, I don't want people to come here and just come for one time. You develop a relationship over time.
Right.
So coming back week after week, you don't have to, you just know them. Like I know most people's name in here already. Like I know them by first name, right? And that's because they show up, right? And I get to understand the business and all that sort of stuff. And it's not, by no means is it transaction. Like I care about every single business here, every resource partner, right? So that's what I work. Somebody had something.
1 second.
And thanks for showing up.
So the workshop is back on how to create an AI agent with Claude. It's the 27th of this month. That's 2 Thursdays from tomorrow. It's gonna be here down here in Greenbelt, real close. I'll have mine will physical flyers next week, but anybody who wants to go, I'll send you the information. Just give me that.
Is that the pajamas thing?
Yeah, pajamas and profits. Pajamas and profits.
Pajamas and profits, okay.
That's it.
And it's when again?
The 27th of August.
Of August. Okay, so we got okay.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Anything else? Anything else we got?
If I could real quick, I think that what you just did is an example of what you're trying to explore. We know that Apple's headquarters is a circle. It's not a square. And it's on purpose because you can't hide from the interaction. And so by not putting the name tag, now I have to have a genuine relationship with you. It's like, hey, I heard you, not like, so what's your name? What do you do? It's like, no, I heard you say this. Because what I saw was her saying, I was waiting for that. When you walk in, I was just waiting for that. And so what you see is a person saying, oh, we have this AI, you come to get together and get food with, oh, we have this AI thing. Well, that's a genuine, not a transaction relationship. It's a genuine relationship. Now they go, oh, well, we need to work together. And that's what you end up with. So if I might, have you say, hey, is anybody looking for how to get in, how to manage this federal contract work? This is what I do. That's a genuine versus like, hey, you come and see here at my card and I walk away. As a matter of fact, do you know Richard Hanks? Do you know that name? I'm going to introduce you to Richard Hanks. He runs a local chapter of a national GovCon contracting environment that is nationwide, and he is deep into that. So I want to introduce you to that.
Okay.
There you go.
Awesome. All right, so this is our last call for the Founders Fridays this Friday at Glass Box Paddle. So if you haven't already RSVP, please sign up because this is the last call, right? We won't publish this anymore. great opportunity for us to kind of connect outside of this room and what we're doing here. You don't need to bring anything, you just need to show up, all right? It's gonna be pretty cool. This Friday, 5 to 7 p.m., that's the address there. If you wanna stand, you can RSVP, but it's right across from the College Park Metro. All right? Have you all RSVP? Who's going? You going, Toby? And I'll be there. Okay. Yes. The next thing, we're planning SPARK sessions. So SPARK sessions are going to be like the action planning for the fourth quarter. If you want to be a part of that, you can scan the QR code. It's kind of small there on the bottom. But if you're interested in being a part of that action plan development, getting momentum for 2027, starting to think about what that strategic plan is for the fourth quarter and going into 2027. We'll be holding that here on the 16th. I think we'll go from 12 to 2. So it's a real facilitated workshop. So you get a bit of what I do in my regular business. So we'll be offering that as well. So yeah, so if you scan that, go to, it's a little Google form that has questions about what you're interested in. All right. All right. So you guys know the deal, and again, I appreciate this community so much because you understand the assignment, right? It's not just about giving advice, although I'm always impressed every single week with the advice that is offered, because it's like super smart people in this room, a lot of experience. So while we enjoy the advice, we want you to also open the door. You guys do it all the time. So really appreciate you guys. Thanks for coming. If you want to join any of our social media platforms, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Brett, when will this live stream be available?
Yeah, so we've been live streaming the whole time. It's up right now. It'll stay once we turn it.
Okay.
Go to youtube.com PGCEDC.
Yes. Yes. So, and so next week we'll do our resource partner day. So we won't have business presenting. We'll have some of our resource partners. So Maryland Business Opportunity Center. We'll get PGCEDC, and maybe. I don't think we have it, but we're trying to get SPDC as well, right? And so that's all to support you guys in your business endeavors. So we won't have any specific business presenters, but we'll have our resource partners present next week, okay? All right, Momentum Compounds, thank you so much. We'll see you next week.
See you, buddy. I don't know. Yeah.